Here's 10 fun getting to know you training activities. We've all been there, sitting through those dreadful training sessions with cringe-worthy icebreakers that make you want to disappear. But fear not, in this video, I'm serving up my top 10 getting to know you icebreakers that'll elevate your induction sessions to the next level. And don't worry, there's no people bingo in sight. I'm Mark Dixon, an advanced teaching and learning practitioner with over 20 years of teaching experience. Getting your students off to the best possible start is crucial for their success, and it's your chance to learn about them from the get-go. That's why I've put together this mini-series of dynamic icebreakers designed to spark engagement and set the right tone in your lessons and training sessions. In this series, you'll find videos packed with team-building activities, brain teasers, and icebreakers that you can implement today. Check out the playlist here. Plus, I've got a free downloadable resource with handouts, instructions, and a PowerPoint slide deck for each activity. It's ready for you to access using the link in the description box below. I've broken this video into chapters so you can skip to what grabs your interest first. And if you find the content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a colleague. So enough waffling from me, let's jump straight in with number 10, the car boot sale activity. The car boot sale activity is perfect for getting your students to know each other and spark some great conversations. Step 1. Cover a variety of fun items with a cloth. This could be anything, the sort of thing you would find at a car boot sale that's small enough to fit on a table and completely random. Step 2. We get each student to choose an item that appeals to them in some way. Step 3. Everyone shares why they picked their item. A story, a memory, or just what they liked about it. Discuss what items suited who and why. For a fun twist, let someone else pick an item that they feel suits someone else in the group. This can be a great way of building connections between students early on. Try the car boot sale activity in your induction sessions and let me know how you get on in the comments box below. In at number 9, the Map Your Success activity. This activity is all about visualizing success and tackling challenges. It's called Map Your Success, and it's a fantastic way to help your students set goals and prepare for their learning journey. Let's get started. Step 1. Hand out a blank treasure map to each student. You can download my free template in the description box below. Step 2. Have students identify their personal treasure. What's their ultimate goal for this course? Maybe it's acing the final exam, mastering a new skill, or simply building confidence in a subject. Next, students map out the challenging terrain. They might draw the mountain of self-doubt or the swamp of early morning starts, or even the forest of procrastination. But don't forget the positives. They can add magic pillars of success, like moments of breakthrough or the island of collaboration where they'll work with peers. After they've crafted their maps, students can share in pairs, small groups, or with a whole class. It's a great way to see what everyone's aiming for and how they plan to navigate the journey ahead. Finally, gather up the maps and revisit them periodically throughout the course to check on progress and keep those goals front and center. Try the Map Your Success activity in your classroom and watch how it motivates and connects your students. Number 8, Who Am I? This is a powerful icebreaker that's perfect for kicking off a new course and helping your students get to know each other. It's called Who Am I, and it's a fantastic way to encourage self-reflection and group interaction. Start by giving each student a sheet of paper with I am written at the top and a pen. Their task? To write down 10 things about themselves that start with I am. Give them about 10 minutes for this step and encourage them to be honest and creative. For example, they might write, I am really not a morning person, or I am passionate about art, or I am determined to succeed. Once the students have finished writing, it's time for a unique twist. Have them attach their sheets to the front of their tops, then ask everyone to silently walk around the room and read each other's I am statements. This silent phase encourages observation and reflection without the pressure of immediate conversation. After about 10 minutes, invite the students to break the silence and start conversations with those whose sheets intrigued them. They can ask questions, find out more about each other, and see if they share any common ground. This activity not only helps students learn more about their peers, but also encourages them to express their individuality in a safe, supportive environment. It's a great way to foster group participation and build a sense of community right from the start. Now, I know that some students might be shy or hesitant to participate in activities like this. Here are a few tips to help everyone feel comfortable and included. Start small. Pair students up or put them in small groups first. This can be easier for any shy students to share in a less intimidating setting before opening up to the whole class. Model the activity. As a teacher, fill out your own I am sheet and share it with the class first. Seeing you participate can encourage them to do the same. Offer alternatives. If a student feels uncomfortable sharing in front of others, allow them to write more general statements, or offer them the option to share just 1 or 2 things instead of all 10. Encourage positive feedback. Ask students to focus on finding similarities and offering positive comments to each other. This can make the environment feel more supportive and less judgmental. Number 7, 2 truths and a lie. This one's a golden oldie, but it's made the list because it just works as a funny way to introduce participants and liven up the classroom. Plus, I'll share some creative variations that will add even more excitement. Start by telling your students they'll introduce themselves to the group, but with a twist. Each person will share 3 pieces of information about themselves, things like their name, hobbies, or a fun fact. But one of those statements has to be a lie. For example, I might say, I have a pet snake, I once skydived from 15,000 feet, and I hate chocolate. The challenge is for the group to figure out which one is the lie. After each person shares, the group gets to guess which statement is the lie. This not only sparks some great conversations, but also encourages students to pay close attention to details. After everyone's shared, let the group vote on which lie was the most convincing or creative, and the winner could even get a small prize. This activity is a fantastic way to break the ice, boost creativity, and get everyone involved. It's perfect for any group size and can really energize the room, especially after a long break. Now let's add some twists to keep things even more interesting. Here are a few variations on the classic 2 truths and a lie game. Reverse 2 truths and a lie. This time participants present their 3 statements, but instead of the group guessing which one is a lie, they have to guess which one is true, and the other 2 are lies. This adds a different challenge, especially when participants use very believable lies. Or you could have 2 truths and a wish. Instead of a lie, participants share 2 truths and a wish, something they'd like to happen or something they desire. The group tries to identify the wish. This version is more positive and aspirational, allowing participants to share personal goals or dreams. Or you could even have a go at a speed round. In this rapid fire version, each participant quickly shares their 2 truths and a lie without giving the others much time to think. The group then guesses which is the lie. The quick pace adds excitement and pressure, making it a lively variation perfect for energizing the group. Number 6, speed introductions. The next getting to know you exercise is speed introductions, and it's a quick and effective icebreaker that helps your students get to know each other right from the start. Begin by handing out an introduction sheet to each participant. You can create your own or download a template from my link in the description box below. Each sheet should have a few prompts or questions designed to help students share a bit about themselves. Here's some example prompts you can include. A hobby or interest you're passionate about. A fun fact about yourself. A favourite book or movie. A place you'd love to visit. Your biggest goal for this course or programme. Once everyone's filled out their introduction sheet, have them stick the sheet to the front of their tops. This makes it easy for others to quickly see the key details about each person. Now it's time for the speed introductions. Have your students pair up and spend 2 minutes talking with each other. During this time, they can discuss what they wrote on their sheets and get to know one another. After 2 minutes, ring a bell or give a signal and have them switch partners. Repeat this process as many times as necessary, depending on your group size. This activity is a great way to break the ice and ensure that everyone has a chance to interact with multiple people. It's quick, it's fun, and it gets the conversation flowing. And if you want to mix things up, Here are a few variations you can try. Non-verbal introductions. Instead of speaking, participants walk around and silently read each other's sheets. This adds a layer of mystery and curiosity as students might need to approach others later to learn more. Themed introductions. Focus on a specific theme for the introduction sheets, like favourite travel destinations or superpowers you'd like to have. This variation can make the activity more focused and even more fun. Memory challenge. After the speed introductions, remove the sheets and test the group's memory. See who can remember the most details about their peers. This can turn into a fun and light-hearted competition. Speed introductions is an adaptable and effective way to help students break the ice and start building connections. Whether you use the basic format or you try one of the variations, this activity is sure to get your group talking and laughing. So we're halfway through. This is a simple yet effective getting to know you icebreaker that's all about remembering names while having a bit of fun. It's called Name and Claim, and it's designed to help both students and the facilitator remember everyone's name with ease. Start by telling your group that by the end of this activity, everyone should be able to remember each other's names. If you've been using name tags, now's the time to turn them face down so they're out of sight. Ask each participant in the group to introduce themselves by name and share one unusual or interesting thing about themselves. For example, someone might say, "My name's Sarah and I can juggle 5 balls at once." This gives a memorable detail that others can associate with their name. Now here's where the challenge begins. The next person must repeat the name and quirk of the previous person before introducing themselves and adding their own quirk. So if the second person is Alex, they might say, "This is Sarah who can juggle 5 balls, and I'm Alex and I once rode a camel across the Sahara Desert." The process continues around the group, with each person recalling the names and quirks of those who went before them. It's a fun challenge that really helps solidify those names in everyone's memory. Once everyone's had a turn, gather the group for a quick reflection. Here's some discussion points to consider. Can everyone now remember all of the other participants' names? How did the unusual quirks help with remembering names? Why might we struggle remembering names in everyday life, and how can this technique help? And if you want to switch things up, here are a few variations to try. Facilitator goes last. As a facilitator, consider going last. This ensures you've been paying attention and can correctly recall everyone's names and quirks. It also sets a good example for the group, as it's the most difficult position because you need to remember everyone. Motivation challenge. Offer a small reward or incentive for those who can remember the most names and quirks by the end. This adds a bit of friendly competition. Name tag backup. In large groups, you can use name tags, but here's the twist. Participants should cover up their name tag with their hands. They can then only reveal one letter of their name at a time if the person trying to recall their name gets stuck. This keeps the challenge alive while offering a safety net. Name and Claim is a fun, engaging way to help everyone remember names and make connections right from the start. Whether you stick to the basic format or try one of the variations, this activity is sure to leave everyone smiling. So, number 4, Desert Island Picks. This is a fun and thought-provoking icebreaker that's perfect for getting your students to think about the people they admire and respect. It's called Desert Island Picks, and it's a great way to spark interesting conversations and reveal a bit about everyone's personalities. Step 1. Start by asking your participants to imagine that they've just been marooned on a desert island. But this isn't just any island. It's a magical one where they can choose 4 well-known personalities to be stranded with. These could be famous people from history, celebrities, authors, or even fictional characters. Step 2. Give each participant a sheet of paper and a pen and tell them they've got 5 minutes to select their 4 desert island companions. They should write down the names of these 4 people along with a brief reason for each selection. Encourage them to think about who they respect, who they find interesting, or who they think would be useful in a survival situation. Once everyone's finished, ask each participant to share their list with the group. They'll tell everyone who they chose and why. This part of the activity is where the real fun begins, as people discover the diverse and sometimes surprising choices made by their peers. This activity not only helps participants learn more about each other's values and interests, but also opens up a discussion about leadership survival, and personal preferences. In at number 3, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Whose Line Is It Anyway is a dynamic and fun icebreaker that's perfect for adding a burst of energy to your session. And it's designed to get everyone laughing and engaged, making it an ideal activity when your group needs a little pick-me-up. So let's jump in. First, you need to prepare some slips of paper with different joke punchlines written on them. I've included 40 in the free download in the description box below. You can thank me by giving this video a like and a subscribe. Place these slips into a hat or bag and let each participant take one at random. Make sure they keep their punchlines secret from the rest of the group. Now it's time to start the fun. The facilitator, that's you, will read out the first part of a joke or the setup. If a participant believes they've got the matching punchline, they can shout it out. To add even more energy, have them stand up and deliver their line if they're sitting down. If a participant guesses incorrectly, simply say, "That's not your line," and read the setup again until the correct punchline is delivered. This keeps the activity lively and the anticipation building. Looking to change things up? Here are a few variations you can try to keep the activity fresh. Next line in a song. Instead of jokes, use song lyrics. You sing or say the first line of a popular song, and participants have to shout out or sing the next line. This variation is perfect for a group that loves music. Iconic movie lines. Try using famous movie quotes instead. You deliver the first part of a well-known quote, and participants have to continue with the next line. Movie buffs will particularly enjoy this one. You could even have course-related punchlines that ties directly into your course content. Instead of joke punchlines, prepare answers to key course-related questions. You read out the question, and participants have to figure out if their punchline is the correct answer. For example, if you're conducting an induction orientation session, you might ask, "Where's the Learning Resources Centre located on this campus?" A participant with the punchline, "It's on D floor," would stand up and deliver the correct answer. Whether you stick with the traditional format or experiment with one of the variations, this icebreaker is a fantastic way to revitalise the group. In at number 2, the Mystery Sound Challenge. This is a really fun and interactive auditory game that's perfect for sharpening your students' listening skills and knowledge. It's called the Mystery Sound Challenge, and it's not only engaging but also educational. Best of all, I've got some fantastic sound clips ready for you to download. Just click the link in the description box below. So what is the Mystery Sound Challenge? It's a game where participants listen to various sound clips or recordings and try to identify the source of each sound. This could be anything from everyday noises to more unusual or tricky sounds. It's a brilliant way to test your group's auditory perception and even spark some interesting discussions. Start by gathering your participants. This game works well with any number, whether you've got just 2 people or a larger group. If you're working with a larger group, you can even split them into teams to add a competitive element. Step 2. Download the sound clips I've prepared for you from the link in the description box below. These sounds range from common noises like a ringing phone to more obscure ones like the chirping of a rare bird. Feel free to use your own sound clips too if you want to tailor the game to your specific group or subject matter. Step 3. Play each sound clip one at a time, giving participants a few moments to discuss or think about what they've heard. You can either have them write down their answers or shout them out, depending on the atmosphere you want to create. If you're working with teams, each team can discuss their answers before revealing them. Step 4. After everyone's made their guesses, reveal the correct answer. This is where the real fun happens, as participants react to whether they were right or wrong. Feel free to throw in a few tricky sounds to keep them on their toes. The beauty of the Mystery Sound Challenge is its flexibility. Each round usually lasts just a few minutes, making it perfect for quick energizers or icebreakers. However, you can easily extend the game by adding more sound clips or increasing the discussion time between rounds. It's entirely up to you how long you want the activity to run for. Now, inclusivity is key, but you can make the Mystery Sound Challenge accessible for students who are deaf or hearing impaired by pairing the sound with a slightly obscured but related image. For instance, if the sound is of a dog barking, you could also include an image of a close-up section of a dog's nose. If you're working within a specific subject, consider using themed sound clips. For example, during a history lesson, you might include sounds like a typewriter or a steam train. And my final getting to know you activity, the Common Thread Challenge. So what is the Common Thread Challenge? This activity encourages participants to dig a little deeper and find the commonalities that connect them with their teammates. It's a great way to build rapport, encourage conversation, and discover surprising things about each other. The challenge? Each group has to identify unique things that everyone in the group shares, but the catch is, it can't be something obvious like, we've all got hands. Here's how you can run the Common Thread Challenge in your classroom, workshop, or meeting. Start by dividing your participants into small groups of 4 or 5 people. Each group will sit together and work as a team to uncover their common threads. Explain the rules of the challenge. Each group must come up with a list of at least 3 unique things that all members of the group have in common. The more unusual or specific, the better. Encourage participants to think beyond the obvious. Maybe they all love a particular genre of music, or they've all travelled to the same country, or perhaps they all have a secret talent for cooking. Give the group 10 minutes to discuss and compile their list of common threads. Encourage them to share stories and details that might help uncover those hidden connections. It's a great way to get everyone talking and learning more about each other. Once time's up, bring everyone back together and have each group share their common threads with the rest of the participants. You will likely hear some surprising and interesting things that connect the group in unexpected ways. After the activity, it's important to reflect on what just happened. Here are some discussion points to consider. Were you surprised by any of the common threads your group uncovered? What did you learn about your teammates that you didn't know before? What was the most unusual or interesting commonality you found? How did that shape your understanding of the group? The Common Thread Challenge is a simple yet transformative activity that's perfect for helping your group discover what they share in common, and is sure to encourage lasting connections and a sense of unity early in your program. So there you have it, 10 cringe-free getting to know you exercises that you can use for kickstarting a course, training event, or team meeting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check my other videos in this series, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more creative teaching and team building tips. See you next time.